Hey guys, welcome back to the Make Easy podcast. It's been a little while, but we are back. And my name's Clark. With me, as always, is
Teacher XL.
He's back. And we thought of a great idea for a podcast episode. And it's related to all the Gen Z slang videos that Teacher XL has been doing lately. If you don't follow us on IG or TikTok, you should. It's at Make Easy. And of course on YouTube, where we post all of our videos. But the Gen Z slang videos is essentially a student of yours is teaching you or trying to teach you what some of these Gen Z terms mean. Is that fair? How the series goes?
So, I kind of make fun of them about their Gen Z slang and how, I don't understand. Okay, yes, maybe I'm getting a little bit older, but I find their slang kind of not as cool as our slang. So I put a spin on it, maybe use it too literally as a joke, or I pretend I don't understand. And that's how it kind of, that's how those episodes kind of started.
Yeah, I explain it to my friends who see those videos. It's like dad humor. You come up with some straight dad humor, which is kind of funny. But so anyway, that got us thinking about how different our generation is. We're technically Gen X compared to Gen Z and now even Gen Alpha, right? So one big difference though between us and Gen Z is that we knew life before the internet. So for all of our Gen Z podcast listeners, what we thought we would do is share some stories of what life was like pre-internet. And I'm sure we're going to sound like old fogies doing this, but that's okay. Let's do it in all in the hopes of, educating the younger generation. So, Teacher XL, do you want to start things off? What was life like before the internet?
So obviously, like kids, everyone, we have all of life's information at the palm of your hand, but some of this information wasn't so easily accessible when we were kids, teenagers. Mm-hmm. And so I literally remember being at a friend's house in the afternoon, and we said, hey, let's go to the theaters, let's watch a movie. Mm-hmm. But in order to know what was playing and what time it was playing at, we literally had to go to newspapers, right, in which we didn't have a newspaper. So my friend got 50 cents, went to a mailbox, put in 50 cents just to get a Toronto Star so that we can look up movie times. And so how kind of convenient now where you can just, with a couple clicks, get all that information.
Yeah, so exactly, right? Cineplex.com. Look up the times. You could look at the theaters. It's all at the, all online. Or if it's on your phone, you could check it up easily. But I think we need to clarify a couple things you said in that story. A mailbox. People are thinking mailbox like in your home. I don't know if people even know what you're talking about when you say mailbox. Can you explain?
Yeah. At street corners, there used to be boxes of newspapers. You had all the different companies: Toronto Star, Toronto Sun, Globe and Mail, and you had to put coins in it. You had to put coins in it to open it up to get a newspaper. So yes, that in that story unpacks coins. Do kids even carry coins anymore? And newspaper, having to buy a newspaper. So yes.
Are your kids old? I guess they are still. They're old enough to know what a penny is, right? We're not that old yet. Is that?
No, I joke that they don't know what a penny is, but I think they do know what a penny is. But they don't know that we used to have a $1 bill or even a $2 bill.
Right. Yeah. Yes. A funny story, kind of a funny story now. Last year when someone broke in, they were looking for some cash, I guess, right? In some of our drawers. And then they left like a $50 bill as is, an old $50 bill, because they thought it was probably Monopoly money, right? So some young folks out there don't know what, like you're saying, a $1, $2 bill even looks like, for sure. Yeah, that's a good one, because essentially, like newspapers, I used to work at a newspaper as a journalist, so but yeah, print is dying out, and literally there were like 50, 60 pages in a newspaper in the heyday, and then you would have to go to that one page where it just showed movie times and listings for that week, right?
And speaking of which, like now, if you got the news one day later, like
Yeah.
1 day later, it's old news, right? So even
Yes.
that's kind of funny. And just thinking about that movie story, like you would go to the movie and you have no idea what seat you're gonna get. You don't know if it's gonna be packed. You don't know what
You
row
can
you're gonna
reserve,
sit
yes.
in. Is
Yeah.
You just figured it out at the time. But now you can like pick and choose exactly where you can want to sit. So yes, times have changed for sure.
Wow, we're only beginning because off that story, how do you know when to meet someone or where to meet, right? Other than setting up a time beforehand, So, do you want to share that kind of story in terms of like what did you have to do to make sure that you go to the right place at the right time when you don't have the phone, texting ability or anything like that?
So speaking of pre-internet, it's even pre-phone. Not many of us had phones until
Right.
we reached like we had an income and became adults, right? So yes, as a kid, the plan you made, you had to stick to that plan. Otherwise, you'd
What
be
is that?
either
Okay.
waiting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What is if people are watching this on YouTube, you're making this gesture. Like, what is that? For
This is
people?
obviously a phone. This is the phone gesture.
A
What are
land
kids doing
phone.
these days?
A land phone.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Because, like you're saying, we didn't have cell phones. Like that was a luxury if you had one. Like a pre-beta model at our age. But we had land phones. That were connected to the wall in our house. So you would have to use that phone to call your friend. And please finish that story. You had to set up a time and place to meet.
Yeah, and that was the only information you knew, right? So you would just go and just wait. And yes, hopefully your friends are punctual, but sometimes I waited an hour because they're running late for whatever reason, and they had no way of letting you know that they're going to be late. So you just wait.
You know what? For the most part, I've been lucky. Like when we made those arrangements, we would just meet at the designated place at the time that we agreed upon the day before, and we're responsible. But I feel like these days, and this is when I'm going to sound like an old fogey, because, you could let someone know in an instant whether you can make it or whether you'll be away. It's kind of used as an excuse not to do
Yep.
things or not to come or to flake. So many more people flaking these days because of technology. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. So yes, it's a lot. People are a lot more readily accessible because of cell phones, right?
100%.
Speaking of which, Clark, I'm wondering, like, when you grew up in your household, like, how many home phones did you have? Like, how many?
It's like landlines,
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Oh, you had two or three landlines? Okay, so growing up, I only had one phone in the house.
Uh-huh.
And so, again, another thing kids might not understand is, like if I had to call someone, I had to call the whole house. Like, I had to call the whole family, right? And sometimes, like,
Yeah.
the dad would pick up angry. And I'm like, excuse me, is Clark there? Right? So I found that kind of funny that in order to talk to a friend, you had to call their whole house, right?
Yes, and you have to talk to whoever picked up that phone, like
Yeah.
you were saying. But because I had 2 phones, when you're on the phone, occasionally someone else will pick up the other phone, and then you would hear the conversation on the other line. You're like, Dad, I'm on the phone with, Teacher XL. And then they would have to hang up because only one person could use the landline at a time. So that reminded me of that.
Like, I remember, like, we would have rules in our house. Like, no one calls after 9 o'clock, right? Like, no one calls during dinner time, right?
Wow, I think you lived in a more strict family than I did. But all right, so I have a story. When I went to England for the first time, I was in my early 20s, and to find anything in a foreign country, you would have to do your research and you had to see like, where's the airport or where's the bus station they need to get on. Nowadays, easy. Just you have your eSIM in your cell phone, look up Google Maps, and then it tells you exactly where to go. Walking distance, the different routes that are available to you. No, you didn't have that back when we were younger. You had to actually go to okay, this by this time you could go to the internet and look up what is it? It wasn't Google Maps, MapQuest. Remember MapQuest?
MapQuest, yes, before Google Maps.
Yes. So it's kind of did the same thing, a more primitive version. But then, if you wanted directions to it, what do you have to do? You have to actually physically print the directions before you leave. And then so sometimes you have stacks of 3, 4, 5 sheets. And then you got to okay, direction number 1, go to 33 Elm Street. Okay, direction number 2, turn left after 100 meters to XYZ. You had to just go through each direction. And that's just the way you found out where to go. Another fun memory.
Yes, we would have to print. And, believe it or not, I actually did a trip. We're in Toronto to Detroit. And I actually made it there on printed maps. And I remember, I even missed an exit, which I didn't print off. But I was able to, get backwards and retrace my steps and figure it out. So, yes, that's how we printed off maps back in the day, yes. And speaking of which, I don't even know if kids will understand this, but say you take a road trip somewhere in Ontario, we would have these big folded maps, like a treasure hunt map, right, in our glove box to get to rural places, Ontario, and folding it back up was almost impossible. You just so
you had to fold in the right creases, and then you know sooner or later it just becomes a big mess in your glove compartment, right?
So something I don't think kids would ever understand. I don't even know if they would even know how to read a map. I don't know.
If you gave one of your kids a map with a treasure hunt, you don't think they'll find the treasure?
I think they would just give up. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be a fun thing to watch to see if that's true. All right. We have a few more. I think when we're brainstorming, we could have done this a 2-hour episode of this. But do you want to do the next one, or should I start?
Okay. Okay. So with the advent of Netflix and streaming, Clark, what do you think kids don't know that we went through watching TV?
There's something called ad breaks between your favorite program, and these ad breaks are called commercials. And then you had no choice but to watch the commercials if you wanted to keep watching the show that you're watching, right? So yes, commercials. It wasn't optional; it was mandatory.
You couldn't fast forward. You just had to sit through them. You were forced to watch them at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. But you're saying how Clark, you have kids, and you want to share how they actually look forward to it now?
Yeah, because so we stream everything now too. We cut the cord a long time ago, so we don't even have cable. But Netflix, if you guys are Netflix subscribers, there are different tiers, and then we're cheap, okay? We want to save money, so we did the basic tier now. But then basic tiers comes with commercials now, right? So every once in a while, you see an ad pop up, and then my kids are not used to it, so they're like, "Oh, what's this? What are we watching? This is not part of the program." But it's geared towards them because we're watching the kids version of Netflix, and so these are toy commercials. A lot of them are toy commercials, and they love it. They're like, "Oh, can we get that?" Or it's what's that toy? So they'll happily watch these commercials because they're just not used to it. It's a novelty of it. So yes, it's different how we view commercials now.
And speaking of network TV, do you remember how literally we'd have to wait a week to watch the next episode of anything, right? So now we can binge watch. You can watch whenever you want. You can watch at the comforts of your own phone in your bed. But we had one TV, and you had to wait. You had to watch it at a specific time, 8:00 Thursday, right? And you had no other choice.
Must-see
if you
TV.
missed that day because of an appointment, then you missed that episode forever, right? So
yes, this is before DVR when you could record it. Or okay, this was not on our list, but you could record an episode. You just need a VHS player, and you need the exact time when to record it, and just program it that way. That was advanced technology back in the day.
Yes, it was. I wonder if kids would even know VHS. You're right.
VCR recorder, but I mean, just going back to commercials is what's funny is like you were saying, you could watch Netflix or you could stream whatever in the comfort of your home, whatever room you want, whatever time. But back then, that was your washroom break. If you're watching a show, you could right now you could just pause it and go to the washroom if you got to go to the washroom. But if it's like really like getting to a good part of the scene, you got to hold it, and you're like, oh man, I got to go when the commercial comes on, and then you rush to the washroom, and then you got to come back because you don't know when the commercials end exactly, and you don't want to miss anything. But yeah, that was your washroom break back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more. Do you remember when, I don't even know if kids go to the library. Actually, my young kids, we take them to a library because they like reading books and we don't have to buy books at a bookstore. So libraries are and again, libraries these days, a lot of programming for kids especially. So a lot of things to do. But back in the day, if there's a reason to go to the library is to do research, especially if you're in school, if you're a student. And what I mean by research is you would actually have to take nonfiction books out, but reference books to just kind of do your research, and then you could talk about the Dewey Decimal System to find books, but you would literally have to go to a physical place called the library and study. Sometimes you would have to study there, and yeah, just find all your books there. Now, internet makes everything easy. ChatGPT makes everything really easy. But yeah, that was another thing that's much different pre-internet.
So I remember having to do a project on the Canadian biomes, right? So okay. Mine was like the rainforests in BC. So yes, I would literally have to get my parents to drive me to the library. Yeah. They have their own catalog on a computer, and then you look up the book, maybe the specific book you're looking for, and then it says like it's not at this location, but it's at a different location. Yeah. Can you imagine that? And then I would have to drive to go to that location just to get that one book. So how much time and gas and driving just to get something kids can, yeah, you're right, just a couple clicks and very detailed information are at their fingertips, right? So
yes. Kids don't know how easy they have it these days.
Actually, Clark, I'll throw in one more. Do you remember, like, okay, my family didn't have one, but do you remember, like, literal encyclopedias?
Yeah, of course.
Like, did you have the World Book Britannica Encyclopedia?
No, my cousin did, but they're heavy, and a set of what, 25 of them? Like, it's...
So, do you think we have to explain what an encyclopedia is? Like
the
kids,
best...
it's Wikipedia,
yes,
but in a book form, like in books, A, B, C, all the way to Z, and you have to flip through the pages to find something information. So people owned encyclopedias. People would come door to door trying to sell you encyclopedias. So yes,
yeah, that's what's crazy thinking about it is it's set. So every once in a while they would update it. But like Wikipedia, anyone can contribute to it now, and it just keeps growing and growing. But your set of encyclopedias, that's all you're going to learn. That's all that's available information that's in there, right? So, yeah, that's a good one. Encyclopedias.
So ultimately, yes, you got all of world's knowledge, right? Just right here,
right in your cell phone. All right, that was fun. I think we talked about it off air, but this could be a reoccurring theme episode, because there's so many more things about what life was like before the internet. Thinking about it, our generation might be the last one to know both what life was before and after the internet that we're living in now.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let's do an extra segment that I thought of, and it's kind of really related to your Gen Z slang videos. But instead, I'm going to come up with 3 or 4 words, okay? Gen X slang terms. And you tell me if you remember using it at all, or a lot, or never, okay? So this is, especially if you're a Gen Z listener, you might have heard these terms, but these are kind of staple Gen X terms, I think. All right? So first one,
go ahead.
Whatever, or whatevs. Used a lot. It kind of like... if you insulted someone, Hey, Teacher XL, nice haircut. And then you would say, whatever, or whatevs. It just ends the conversation that way.
Maybe whatevs. I don't know if I did the whole whatever, but maybe whatevs. Like, yeah, if someone is annoying me, whatevs. Yes.
Yes, that's I think, a staple. All right, dude. I think that's a Gen X thing.
I was never a dude guy. Maybe I was yo. I think I was more of a yo, but I don't think I was a dude guy. Yeah.
Yeah, yo's a good one too. I feel like I use dude a lot more now.
Yeah, maybe more now.
That's from my days back when. All right, radical, man. Like that's like saying awesome.
That's rad. That's rad. I don't think so. I think that was more like California surf. I don't think I used radical. Did you use?
I don't know if you ever watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And radical was a staple in that cartoon show, so I think I picked it up from there.
Okay.
All right, one more. Gnarly. I also think this is a TMNT thing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Gnarly was like, same thing, like radical. Do you use that?
Never used gnarly.
Okay, well, is there words that you used back in the day that's okay. A Gen X thing?
What about, I'm gonna throw a couple. What about teef?
Teef?
Yeah, Teef.
No.
Okay, so that we use that for like stealing.
Oh, yeah.
Like thief. But okay, my friends insist that we started this word because there was a kid doing a book report, and it was the thief who stole the snowflake, but he couldn't say the word thief. He said it like, because of an accident. He used the word thief, the thief who stole the snowflake. And so since then, we were using the word thief for like stealing. So yeah.
So you think you guys invented it?
Yeah. In grade 5, we had a kid in our class who used the word thief, and then we used it, and it kind of spread.
Okay. You got another one?
Okay. Roll. How would you use that? So, maybe as a kid, we had like friends who were like wannabe gangsters, right? Okay. So, like, they would share stories how like if they saw like a kid with a nice hat, you'd roll them. In other words, you'd beat them up to get their hat.
Okay.
So that was the word roll, right? So that was the word.
Okay. I don't know if these are Gen X or if just it's the neighborhood you grew up in. I feel like you're mixing it up now. Oh, man. There you go. We learned something about Teacher XL. He lived in a rough neighborhood growing up.
You want to go the other way? We'll finish off with Gen Z words that really bother me.
Sure. Go for it.
So, I am if you didn't know, what I do for a living is I'm a high school teacher, and I kind of pride myself on speaking properly, right? Good vocabulary, speaking properly. Mm-hmm. So this one really bothers me. So Clark, say like your baseball team is going against the Blue Jays. Just okay. How would you say that? Like we are. How would you say that?
What do you mean? The visitors?
Like who are you playing today? Yeah.
The Blue Jays.
I am. Your team is. My team is.
The home team.
Like going against.
Okay.
The Blue Jays. You'd say like
that,
right?
My team is going against the Blue Jays. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sure? Guess what kids are saying these days? They're saying we're versing them. Like as in verses. They're using it versing. Who are you versing? Oh, are you versing them? It just bothers me so much. But Clark, it's so common. It's so common. Today I was at a badminton tournament, and all I heard was, "Who are you versing?" Like, and I was like, I can't. I don't want to be the uncool guy and tell them they're saying it wrong, but that's what they're saying now.
You know what? I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie.
So, like, it might be right if you were singing a song, and they wrote a verse, and that's what you're versing. Maybe that would work, but
No, but I could, you know what? I could see the logic in making that the slang word. Versus, versing.
yes.
Okay, that bothers
Okay.
you. Is there anything
I
else
got-
that
I got
bothers
one
you?
more.
Okay, let's end it here.
I want you to think back into, and this is another one, ICQ, instant messaging on your computer.
Yeah,
If you had to quickly go, what would you type?
BRB.
Right. What does that stand for?
Be right back.
Okay. Guess what kids are using these days?
Tell me.
AFK.
AFK. No, I don't know. What
Away
is
away from keyboard.
it? Okay. I think I might have heard of that one, but it slipped my mind.
I prefer
AFK.
BRB. I just go BRB.
Hey, there you go. You learned something new, but there's a difference between Gen X and Gen Z, and this episode certainly highlights that point. But
Yeah, no, Clark, we should maybe we should do this weekly, and we can we can reminisce and talk about pre-internet, pre-cell phone times, and what a different time it was.
I like it. And you know what? For all our listeners out there, if you got one of your own, yeah, just hit us up on YouTube or on Instagram at Make Easy channel, and we'd love to see what you guys come up with. But yeah, till next time.
Yeah, folks, please subscribe, like, or comment for more content. And yeah, we'll look forward to hearing your ideas and sharing more stories.